Hey, what's up everybody? It's Aaron here with High Five Guys. Today we're going to be looking at Burnout 3 The Takedown. I decided to start here at Burnout 3 because most people agree that Burnout 3 was the peak of the Burnout series. It introduced takedowns, it was the first time that Criterion was partnered with EA, and they turned out a pretty solid game with a decent soundtrack and a very annoying DJ. So let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with a road rage because that was my favorite type of event on this game, and probably most people's favorite type. Graphics for this game were great for its time. The reflections were awesome. There was a lot of bloom, but not like overly bloom like some games started to do around like the mid-2000s. Everyone was adding so much bloom to their games because they thought it made it look more realistic for whatever reason. But it was spot on in this game. They got it right. And this was one of the first games that, well, all the Burnout games actually ran at 480p instead of 480i, which not a whole lot of games on the PlayStation 2 did that. See how long of a streak I can do. It's always fun to get back in these games and just see what your high score might be, or see how bad you've gotten at it since you hadn't played it in so long. Seemed to be doing all right. I was a little worried at the beginning there. I wasn't taking down too many people at first. I've also thought about just going back and doing voiceovers for these videos because on older games like this, especially ones that I've played a lot, there's not a whole lot for me to react to. So I sort of wonder what the point is of recording my face as opposed to just doing a voiceover after I finish recording an episode. Let me know what you think. You like seeing my face in that tiny box at the top left? Or do you want to just hear my voice, my smooth, beautiful voice? Crashes were way over the top in this game. That's part of what made it fun, though. Burnout 2 had, I think they had a little bit more realistic crashes. The damage wasn't quite as intense, but the physics were a little better. And I really like the arcade style driving. And that's what this whole series, Retro Racing, is about, is checking out some of the best arcade games of years ago, back on the older consoles. And this was definitely one of them. This is one of the best arcade racers ever made, in my opinion. And in a lot of people's opinion, I've seen a lot of people. No one was able to recreate this. Flat Out got close. I really liked their mini games in Flat Out, and I'll be playing that in a later episode as well. But nobody really quite captured what Burnout 3 The Takedown did. Not even in the later Burnouts, like in Revenge, the whole addition of checking traffic sort of threw off the pace a little bit because the whole point of the Burnout series up until Revenge was dodging traffic and driving dangerously to score extra points. Whenever you could just run into the back of traffic, it sort of took away from the challenge. I mean, it was fun for a little bit. It was a little gimmicky. Oh man, almost crashed there. already on damage critical. Let's see how long I can last. Oh man, that guy came out of nowhere and took me out. Well, that's the end of my road rage. Apparently that's a new record for me, which is pretty sad because, man, I thought I used to be able to get like up into the hundreds, but oh well. Let's go ahead and do something else. Try crash mode. Crash mode on here was a little different than the older crash mode. Burnout 2 had my favorite. It was just go in there and try to hit as many cars as possible, cause as much damage. And I mean, the premise is still the same on this one. The only major difference is they added pickups where you could like multiply your score, and crash breakers. You could explode your car. I did like the addition of those. Explosions are always fun. Part of the Burnout games, it was a little joke in the old ones, is if you did a burnout at the beginning, because the name of the game is Burnout, you would get extra boost and help you score faster. If I wouldn't have burned out at the very beginning, then I probably wouldn't have hit this traffic at the right time. I like to save the crash breaker for the last second, and the camera pans around with the vehicles in the air. Oh yeah, that ought to be a gold medal. We got this. Gold medal. Come on. Did I get a gold medal? Record. I don't know what that means. I guess that's good. Record is good. Yeah. And this is going to be a short episode. I need to figure out something else to do. Should I go ahead and just pop in Burnout 2? I'll just stick with this one for now. I'll do a race in here. Try to cover most of the game modes. Time attack I'm not a fan of, so I won't be doing that. Let's do a muscle car race. I like the muscle cars. Also, I'm trying to get this whole video done in one shot and just edit out all the bad parts like that. And we're going to see how that turns out. It's a little different than the last one I shot. Man, trying to do an intro and you realize your face doesn't move as much as you thought it did. You look sort of stiff and everything. Man, I didn't like that. I had to retake the intro 1,000 times. I thought this would be easy doing video game commentaries. Apparently it's not as easy as I thought. Nor is driving. Come on, come back down. I need to get this aftertouch. I'm still gonna win. What's that they say about Let's Players not being any good at video games? Might be true. Also love the sound design in this game. All the cars rushing past make the wind effects and everything, and the shifting of the cars in this one. It's not like Burnout Paradise where your car would shift forever. You'd be like one of the guys in Too Fast, Too Furious that had 27 gears in their car. So those cars no matter what speed you were going, they would just continually just shift all the time. 2 aftertouch, come on. Second place. Ooh. I also wonder how good this screen recorder is going to work, because it wasn't designed to shoot to record screens under 720p. So we'll see how the quality turns out on this one. First place. It's weird, I don't play the races very much because I prefer road rage in this game. So, like, not having the enemy cars just always around you like they are in road rage feels a little weird. These guys have like such bad rubber banding. Like, you can catch up to them whenever they're ahead of you, but they will always be like right behind you. You can never really get a great lead on them. Sometimes they can like just leave you miles behind them. Also, I'm from Texas. I don't know how bad my accent comes through in these videos, if it's super noticeable to you guys, but I don't really notice it whenever I'm talking. But whenever I look back at the video, I kind of look and cringe and think about, man, I wonder how southern I sound. Do I sound like a complete redneck whenever I'm talking? Not that all Southerners are rednecks. I wouldn't consider myself to be one, but I might sound like one. Oh, come on. That was perfect timing. I gotta give it to him. Ooh. Man, I thought he was going to take him out for me and I wouldn't have to run into all that. Oh, I still got a takedown somehow. I didn't even see. And I wonder if I'm going to win this race anymore. I'm only second, so yeah, I still got this. AI is a lot more fun to compete against in this game than in the last episode I shot with Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit 2 is one of my favorite games in Need for Speed series, but man, the AI is super easy to beat. Unless you turn it on Expert, which the racers that you go against are still easy. It's the cops that get harder. In retrospect, I should have played it on Expert. If you guys like that video, I might go back and do that. Play, y'all could suggest a track or a game mode, and I'll play it on Expert, see if I can win. I shouldn't have that much of an issue with it. There is no difficulty setting on this game, though. Records all around. New award. Another thing I really liked about this game was the award system. You would just play and get in. It didn't matter if you did the events or not, like the actual career mode that's built into the game. You would get awards, and it felt good to play and like win stuff. Even though like all the cars handle the same in this game. Well, except for the ones I was just driving, the muscle cars do feel heavier than the rest, but other than that, all the cars pretty much handle the same. And that's one of the points of this game that I didn't like nearly as much as the older Burnouts, where each car sort of had its own feel and weight to it. Yeah, negative marks on that, but it's not that bad. This game's still extremely fun to play. I wish I could play the music on here, but copyrights. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I might as well just stop it here. Well, alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. And so I decided to pop in Burnout 2. I really wanted to play it. I was just talking about it doing the Burnout 3 episode, and I might include it all together as one episode. I don't know yet. But yeah, just talking about it made me want to play it, so I decided to pop it in, and we're going to do a little bit of racing. Big Surf Grove. Okay, that's what it was called. Big Surf Grove. One of my favorite tracks. Just realized I wasn't recording yet on my screen capture, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and redo that. But here we are, we're racing already, and the Burnout works a whole lot better in the beginning of these races than it does on like the crash mode in Burnout 3. It works in this crash mode too, but it just gives you such a like ridiculous head start. But yeah, the handling in this game was great. The cars all had their own like feel to them, and Roadster was one of my favorite early cars because you could just like whip it around these corners so fast and so tight. It's nice, fast and tight. I really like the drift mechanic of this game. It's the only game that does drifting better than this one, and I say better in a relative sort of way, is Ridge Racer. It's it's better in the way that it's over the top. It's not realistic at all, but it's fun. This one's a little bit more realistic, at least momentum-wise. But these cars are super fun to drive. I just love going back and playing this game. These tracks are awesome. I don't even have to cancel the music out in this one because there's no copyrights for these music. Man, I wanted to do a perfect run, but oh well. All these near misses. There we go. Sort of have to take a little time to get back into the groove of this game. This game plays so different than most games out now. It just feels like a really good arcade style racing game. It's even got the little countdown clock in the top like old arcade games had. I also love the atmosphere in this game. Not too many games on the PlayStation 2 did atmosphere as well as this. I don't think even the third one did as good. But like the lighting on the buildings and everything, I mean the graphics aren't great at all, but the lighting in this game on like the environment looks nice for its time. And also they developed it on the PS2, so it had really nice bloom effects as well, just like Burnout 3 had. How many laps am I doing? I'm doing 4 laps. But yeah, it looked pretty good, aside from having like not the best graphics system in the world, but the environment and the atmosphere was great. You had tracks up on like snowy mountains and everything, and out in the desert, and the skybox and the lighting that they used on the environment really helped like sell like this place as like a realistic city or town that you're driving through. I mean, realistic-ish for this time period back on PS2. I never got to play the Xbox version. I heard that the resolution, the graphics are a little bit better on there, but they didn't have the bloom effects. So some of the effects work was missing on the Xbox version. Since they developed it for the PS2, it's probably the best as far as effects go, but it was also the least powerful system out of the group that they developed the game for. They had it on GameCube, Xbox, and PS2. And I always just had a PlayStation, so back in the day whenever I would play this, it was the only system I had. And I think it looks fine. I mean, there's plenty of jaggies and stuff that probably were less noticeable on the Xbox, but I think this game looks pretty great for being, how old is it? 16 years old? This game's 16 years old now. It came out in 2002. Same time as Hot Pursuit 2, which is another episode that I did for this series. ...2002 was a good year for racers. First place, piece of cake. What game modes? This had pursuit mode. Also the replays. I remember the replays. I love like the lighting on the buildings in the background. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing though. I'm gonna do pursuit mode because I love games that have a pursuit mode in them. I want to do this all in one go. I don't want to. I'm sort of a perfectionist when it comes to games like this. Oh man, I missed my boost. You know, I'm a real perfectionist. I'm not gonna restart because of that though. I can still catch up to him just as fast. Even faster somehow. But I like how, again, I like the environment with the planes overhead and the train tracks running above us. And just everything in this game, like, feels like a real city that you're driving through. Other than the outdated visuals, I mean, if this game was to come out again, if someone was to do... I know Three Fields Entertainment has the guys who used to make the Burnout series. A lot of them left Criterion because they didn't like working with EA and having to do all the new Need for Speed games. So they left and made their own company. You should check it out, Three Fields Entertainment. Right now they only have a couple games out. I think Dangerous Golf and Danger Zone. I really like the word danger, apparently. But yeah, go ahead and support those guys if you like the Burnout series, because they're trying to get back into the mix of making games like this. I would love to see this world in like modern graphics. I think it would look awesome. Because the attention to detail that they put into just this PS2 racer, it looks great. Also like how you take chunks off the car in this pursuit mode whenever you're driving and hit into them. That's how you're going to stop them, not like in Hot Pursuit 2 where it's more like you actually stop the car, get in front of them, and pull them over. I mean, you also did some damage to their cars in that one, but you really messed these cars up in this game. I'm going to have to do crash mode as well. Crash mode, this had my favorite crash mode in this game. Where's the boost? Come on, I've got one hit left. Gotta stop him. Super unrealistic type of pursuit. You just drive around on a track in circles like that would really happen in real life. Let's just go in circles. There we go. Yeah, he's totally alive after that. It's probably my favorite Crash Junction is what they were called. They didn't have that many back on the PS2. I think they added more in the Xbox, which is nice if you have an Xbox. I don't. But the Crash mode was awesome in this game. No frills or anything, you just went in and hit some cars and tried to do as much damage just by hitting a few cars. The more you touched, it multiplied your score. Oh yeah. This is going to be a pretty good one, I think. You ever seen a big rig jump? Oh well. Not that much, only 14 cars hit. Doubt I even break any of my records. I guess we'll see. 30 million. I don't know if that's a record or not. Probably not. I think I have like 50-something million as my record. 72 million. I did that back in 2016, so yeah, I'm not even close to my record. It's a gold medal nonetheless. All I really wanted to do was get in here and do some crash footage. We'll do one more crash junction and then like end this episode. I really like this game. I'm probably just going to keep playing after I stop recording. This is such a fun game. Some of the crash junctions weren't that great, but I did like the crash mode better in this game than any of the other ones. Oh shit. That was terrible. Yeah, redo. Redo. That was bad. That was bad. I gotta do that again. Nope. Forgot my boost. There we go. Got the boost. Hit one of these guys. Fly over the bus. Freak everybody out just by being up in the air, I think. Yeah, there we go. I think I started something that time. I think the buses give you the most points in this game. Buses are big rigs. That didn't look that great. Gold medal, hopefully. Gold medal, alright, 66 million. That seems pretty good. I don't remember what my high score is on any of these levels. Did I get one? Oh, I got one. Highest ever. Alright, I'm going to end the episode there on a high note. Alright guys, thanks everyone for watching. Remember, Aaron here with High Five guys. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and you guys have a good day.